Hello and thank you for joining us today. My name is Celina Gomez and I'm an assistant professor at the University of Florida working in controlled environment horticulture. With this short video, I will introduce our cultivar trial where we have been growing almost 900 plants since the early fall. We have 46 tomato cultivars, 30 peppers, and 4 cucumber varieties. These are mostly compact plants suitable for gardening indoors or outdoors in patios, backyards, or balconies. Most cultivars have been bred by our industry partners, Prudec, who will be represented today by their U.S. partner Pure Line Seeds, Pan American Seed, Sakata Seed, and Syngenta. Thanks also to our colleagues at BioWorks and Syngenta Professional Pest Management, who have helped us with pest and disease management during this trial. Industry funding for today's trial was also provided by our partners at the Floriculture Research Alliance. All pepper plants were sown 3 weeks before the tomatoes to account for their longer crop cycle. Tomato seedlings were transplanted 5 weeks after sowing, whereas the peppers took an additional week. All plants were propagated in a greenhouse using a plastic tray and peat-based substrates. Our goal with this trial is to evaluate different growth, yield, and quality characteristics in 2 very different environments. In our indoor environment, the average temperature and relative humidity are being kept at 22 degrees Celsius and 57%, which are close to the typical ambient environments in residential spaces or office spaces. We are providing a daily light integral at plant canopy height of 11 moles per square meter per day using white LED lamps, which on average deliver a light intensity of 220 micromoles per square meter per second for 14 hours per day. Because of space limitations, we chose to focus this indoor trial for truly compact plants, which are all being grown in 8-inch azalea pots. The 4 cucumber cultivars are also being grown indoors, but were started a couple of months later due to the very fast growing cycle. Indoors, we're interested in identifying the most compact plants that can produce a large number of fruits and are resistant to intumescence, which is a physiological disorder that tends to be common in some of the solanaceous crops. We're also growing all plants in our greenhouses where on average plants have received a daily light integral of 11 moles per square meter per day from sunlight. The average temperature so far has been kept at 22 degrees Celsius and the relative humidity at 68%. In the greenhouse, plants are being grown in 2 different container sizes. All compact plants are being grown in our 8-inch azalea pots, whereas the larger or medium-sized plants are being grown in 5-gallon containers. And those plants were caged immediately after transplanting. Most of these plants have been identified as good candidates for gardening in the soil, ideally using a trellising system. Because sunlight is abundant and temperature is relatively high in Florida, even during the late fall and winter, plants in the greenhouse tend to grow at a faster rate than those grown indoors. Thus, we're interested in identifying the ability of a plant to maintain those small growth habit under growth promoting conditions. Yield and fruit quality characteristics will also be important. During the next hour, we will be highlighting some of the best performing cultivars that we have identified so far. We will be discussing some unique characteristics that will make them attractive to greenhouse growers producing plants for this growing market segment, or to consumers interested in purchasing novel vegetables to satisfy their desire to be involved in gardening. We hope you enjoyed this virtual field day.